everyone, again, welcome to my home. Another recovery video I'm going to shoot for you. This one is when I started back in the gym and I was struggling eating and things like that. This was my go-to and really enjoyed this one. Still eat it today, keep on going, and it's it never loses its charm. I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to do chicken thighs with cabbage, red onion, and it's got garlic, it's got oregano in it and things like that. But there's another little spice blend. I love my spices. Now, the spice blend on this is quite simple. It's 2 spices, really. I mean, forget about your herbs, you know what I mean, and your ghee, which I swear by, you know. Let's forget about that. This has got 2 spices. It's got smoked paprika and cayenne pepper. Now, the cayenne pepper gives it a nice kick, which is what I want, but the smoked paprika gives it that earthy, smoky flavour. It's fantastic. You can get some really good smoked paprikas. Spanish do the best one, and it can change your cooking. That you can make a piece of chicken give like almost as it feels like it's got a chorizo crust, if you know what you're doing. Anyway, sorry for waffling on about the spices as usual. I'll go through the ingredients. We have chicken thighs. Okay, so right here we got chicken thighs. There's cabbage, red onion. Now, I've already sliced these, and for the simple reason is I use a Japanese mandolin because the finer the cabbage and the onion, the better. So Japanese mandolin, you can get them quite cheap, but the one that I use is quite an expensive one because I use it a lot. I like this really fine dice, and I can cook quick, I can cook fine, but to get it completely perfect every single time on every single slice, you need a Japanese mandolin, and they're fantastic, you know what I mean? Some people buy them and throw them in the cupboard. Use it, seriously, use it. So anyway, back to it. Cabbage, red onion, on the same setting of mandolin, quite fine. We have got ghee, we have got smoked paprika, decent amount of it. We have got cayenne pepper, oregano, and garlic. That's it. That's it. It's not a lot of ingredients. And the beauty of this, it's 1 pan cooking. Sorry about the smoke, I've had it on in advance. It's 1 pan cooking. 1 pan. That's it. So here we go. Let's get, before I go any further, I use one of these, right? Now, one of these things, right? These are like, you know, your dusters, what they dust. They put icing sugar in if they dust dessert. So if you're having a coffee, they put chocolate powder in and dust the top of your cappuccino. This is perfect for all of your spices for the simple reason you get an even distribution, because if you do it with your fingers and your fingers might be a little bit wet or something, it comes out in lumps. So I use one of these. Now this thing, honestly, I've used it for years and years, and it never ever fails. Honestly, it's seen more action than Rambo's headband. I swear to God, it's been drop kicked, honestly, stunning. But I bought a decent one, a decent metal one. Get your use out of your equipment. So here we go. You get a nice even dust, as you can see, right? So you're in control of how much you're dusting on this. Right? Oh, sorry, 2 other ingredients is a salt and pepper. As you can see, you get a really even dust, which means you're going to get even flavouring, which is, I think, important. Let me just grab the 2 salt and peppers. Sorry about that. I always forget salt and pepper, always, for the simple reason I do it without thinking about it, do you know what I mean? So when I'm putting the recipes together, I think, right, I've got everything to do my checklist, got. Salt and pepper, forget every time. It's just the most important thing, and I forget it every time. Anyway, let's get back to cooking. So we've got ghee. First thing in is our ghee. Now again, every single time you see me cooking, you're going to see me cooking the ghee. It's a superfood. It is. Anyone who knows anything about diets, and I mean serious diets, I'm not talking like, let's have Cocoa Pops as nutrition for the gym. None of that. I'm talking people who know about diets, proper diets. They'll tell you that ghee is one of the superfoods. Use it, enjoy it, it gives a better flavour, it gives a lot better. It just cooks better. It's just all round better. Stay away from the oil, sunflower oil, all that. I say it on every single video I'm gonna do. Stay away from them. Cook with ghee or butter, whatever you want. Right, now this is in the pan, as you can hear, frying away, all nicer. I hit it on this side with the salt. Right, give it a good crack of salt, a good crack of pepper. Now, as you've noticed, I've only dusted one side. Now, there we go, with the second side, give it a good dusting, give it a good... These things that I'm using here, if ever you're using spice on things like that, these things are fantastic. Give it a good dusting, because this flavour is going to go right through the whole dish. So it's going to be smoked paprika, as I said, well, you've seen the ingredients, you know what I mean, you've seen the ingredients. But when you taste them all together, mate, this is fantastic. Really, 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 really good dish. Now, excuse me again, because I forgot everything as usual. Tongs, I forgot my tongs. Now, I always cook on induction. It's just the way it's worked out. My house, when I moved in here, had induction. A couple of houses ago, like 10 years ago, excuse me, I first worked on induction, never looked back. It cooks more even. I know all the chefs go, oh, gas this, gas. Let me tell you, you know what I mean? I get it, yeah, gas is what I've always cooked on myself, but for some reason induction is for me. You can put timings on it, you know what I mean? So, you know, I give you for instance, get home from work and you go, right, need a shower, you put a pot of cooking on, you know what I mean, and put it on for 2 minutes, put the lid on it, come back. You know what I mean? It just works for me. Anyway, back to the cooking now. This dish, the best part of it, it's a one pot shop. That's it. One pan is all you need. Is all you need for all the ingredients. This is going to be a meal for two. You know what I mean? This is one of my lady's favourites. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is one of them go-tos where what do you want to? Can we have that chicken? Yes, of course, darling. But again, if you're dieting, Jim, if you're dieting down for an holiday, you're dieting down for everything. This is chicken, cabbage, onion and spices. Chicken and cabbage. Do you know what I mean? But if you know what you're doing, and I hope I'm showing you know what you're doing, this can work out as a fantastic meal. And I guarantee you, it will be your go-to. It will be your go-to. By the way, play around with it. What I mean by play around with it? You want it spicy? Zip up the cayenne. You know what I mean? Zip up the cayenne pepper. You know, you want it more savoury, then you zip up the paprika. You know what I mean? But you can put other spices in it. You give it a twist of lemon, do whatever makes you happy with your flavour. You know, but what I am saying is chicken, cabbage, onion. Trust me, it's delicious. Anyway, back to the pan. Now, as you can see, it's starting to take beautifully. Now, this is what I'm looking for. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Nice colouring, nice even colouring. And right here, lid it. Stick a lid on the pan, right? Now, the reason why I'm sticking a lid on the pan is because it creates steam. Now, the best thing about the steam is that that steam is going to create almost a sauce in the bottom. That's what we cook our cabbage and onion in. Delicious. I'll give it a splash of water to help it along, but that's when the chicken's cooked. Now, when I say chicken's cooked, you take the chicken out, let it rest, and while it's resting, the cabbage and onion takes 5 minutes. You can put the chicken back in and warm it through. There's your dish. So easy. So easy. Honestly, it's so easy. People that go, oh, I'm not sure about that. Trust me. It's cabbage and onion. Come on, behave yourself. Get cooking, you know what I mean? Start enjoying yourself in the kitchen. Now, by the way, this, right, I've put it on a menu when I'm doing tapas. And everyone, love that. And all I do is, I got the paprika so it gives you like that chirifo taste like I was telling you before. You know what I mean? But it gives it that Spanish flavour, which I love. And I've done it exactly the same. I've just put more paprika, smoked paprika in. Tastes like chorizo. Chorizo's one of them things you either love it or you hate it, but the flavour of it is fantastic. Fantastic. It's quite hard for me, really, and you know, when I was struggling with cancer, it's a hard thing to swallow. But this gives you the flavour of that without the anyway, try it. Right, so back to the cooking. Doesn't take long. Again, you know, as you can hear it, you know, it's kicking off nicely. Now, as you can see in the bottom of the pan, it's starting to get that nice little sauce. I might not even need the water. Sometimes I look in the pan and it's kind of dried out a little bit. It's just, you know, it's just the way it is. I got a little bit of water anyway, just in case I need a splash, but sometimes there's enough residue, enough sauce, whatever you want to call it, in the bottom of the pan. That's enough to go. Now, what I haven't put in at this minute, and don't start that thing, you know, what about his garlic? What about his oregano? I put a bit of oregano in. However, this comes in with the cabbage. Now, the cabbage dish, let me tell you. A lot of years ago, one of my best friends, and still is a guy, there's a guy called Thomas Hayes. Now, Thomas, if you're watching, love you, brother, miss you. However, Thomas is Slovakian, and when he came over to England, he worked on the door for me. Now, he's a great guy, solid guy, you know what I mean, really good fella, do you know what I mean? So, after a few years, like, he's gone back to Slovakia, but he's such a fantastic guy. So, he used to invite me around for Sunday dinner, and I used to go around, he used to come around to mine. Great. In fact, he had more meals like mine than I did his, and you know, that's coming to me all of a sudden. However, his wife at the time, Henya, beautiful woman, again, Henya, miss you, my sister. Anyway, Henya, she cooked me a traditional Slovakian meal, which is what I wanted. And it was like brinzy Lewenski, I think it was called. But she did this dish with cabbage, and one cabbage was like sweet, and the other cabbage was like sour, like a sauerkraut, but it wasn't sauerkraut. Do you understand what I mean? Sauerkraut can be a bit strong. So I loved the cabbage. I can't remember what meat we had, I think we had pork, but I was more interested in the cabbage, and this is as close as you're going to get to it. I absolutely love it. Anyway, let's get back to it. Chicken's almost done. And the smells, honestly, the smells are fantastic. You can smell the smoke and the spicy, it's all going on. So these are not far off good, you've always got to check them. Always got to check them, just peel it back. If it's pink, give it more time, you know that. However, whenever we're resting, it's still cooking a little bit. I usually put mine under foil or even the pan lid, whatever. Just when you're resting, don't let it go too cold. Let it rest slowly. Piece of foil or what? Listen, chefs are chefs. They just turn a pan upside down in it or whatever. But have these little things ready. You know what I mean? So foil on top of it so it rests slower, and the chicken will be softer. Simple as that. Alright, now, the only problem with this, I put a white t-shirt on, and this is one of them splashy dishes. Right, so, if I look like a mess at the end, you know, I do apologise, but I'm in white. Right, okay, so, let's get back to the pan. As you can see, all of that. Now, usually I'd stick like a little splash with the amount of cabbage because it's for two. Just going to give it a little splash. This helps with the steaming. I could have stayed in a mess and make it. A little splash of water helps with the steaming. As you can see, it's starting to go. Now, straight away in the pan, cabbage. Right, now, This is just a shredded white cabbage, right? Buy organic, go to your farm shops, whatever you're going to do, buy a nice cabbage. You know, this is only half a cabbage. Half a cabbage, split it in half. This is going to do 2 people. Split it in half, mandolin, all the way, nice, shredded, beautiful. I love shredded cabbage, I love it. Put it, well, when I could eat bread that one time, I used to put it on sandwiches and God knows what. Now, as well, straight on top of it, give it a good whack of onion. Now, I'm not going to stir this in just yet. I'm going to wait for the steaming process, and then I'm going to flick it. I'm going to flick it over, stir it through. All right. All right. There we go. Give it a good crack of salt, and a good crack of black pepper. That's it. There we go. And lid. As you can see, we're still on one pot. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a bit. It's all right. Bit of a village, but hey, excuse me. Right. As you can see, it's one pot cooking. One pan to wash up for you 2 of you. You know what I mean? The bigger the pan, the more people you feed. Anyway, let's get back to it. Right. So, all of the sauce that's come off the chicken with the ghee, the spices, is all going on. Now, what I like to do is, right in the middle, pull it all back and chuck your garlic in. Right? Now, let that garlic cook and that, because I like it garlicky, do you know what I mean? I really like it garlicky. So you got garlic, smoked paprika, garlic, cabbage. Yeah, it's beautiful. One ingredient I did miss off as well, apologies, is cider vinegar. Cider vinegar, this should be in your diet. If you're training or whatever, it's a good fat burner, it's good for your digestion. They do quite expensive cider vinegars that say that they've got the mother in, which is the pip. It's kind of like first press. So, you know, when you get a first press olive oil, that is like the first press of the apple cider vinegar, and it is fantastic. It is fantastic. Now, I put this in because I like it almost to taste like a pickle, not a pickled cabbage, that's too far. Yeah, it's got like a sauerkraut pickly taste, you know what I mean, with the onion. I find it fantastic. Please eat it. Now, the garlic smelling in this is awesome. Oh, by the way, I've got a good friend of mine as well that I've actually cooked this for, and he's German. And he's like, hey, where did you do that sauerkraut? I'm like, mate, it ain't sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is cabbage like that, and salt, water in a jar, minimum a week. And what it does, it breaks down, and it's a very, very good for your gut. It's good for everything. It's a superfood sauerkraut. In fact, a couple of episodes down the line, I'm going to do sauerkraut, and I'm also going to do what I call a tonic, which has got ginger in it, it's got turmeric and so on. I'm going to do one of the episodes where it's about good gut health and this and that, and you know, kefir and so on. I'm going to do an episode that is about healing. Probably episode 6 of this series, because this is number 2. Right, I'm going to do a series of 6 with this, so this is number 2. So and this is all about cancer recovery. This didn't help me recover cancer, but when I started in the gym, this was my go-to. I've got a few other recipes that I get along the way, which I still eat them today, you know what I mean, they're my favourites, but I had to break them down a bit so I could swallow and things like that. So I think the food that I ate helped me to recover and to get back to where I wanted to be faster than, yeah, as I say, I used to go in, when I go in and see the specialist even, now I'm going to say, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, you know, chicken and cabbage. No, it's a fantastic dish, really is. As I say, I've done it on tappers, went down wonderful. I've done it for a lunch, fantastic. Evening meal, plenty of it, but it went down well, do you know what I mean? If there's any of you bread lovers out there, which I don't eat bread, but any of you bread lovers out there, let me tell you, you'll be scooping the bottom of the pan with your favourite little crusty loaf, you know what I mean? You know, even put it on sandwich, this cabbage, put it on sandwich, delicious, absolutely delicious. Now, we're at the point now where the cabbage is frying nicely, as you can see. Now, it's taken on all of the flavours. Now, right here, just give it a little flick of oregano. This is dried oregano, but I like the flavour of it. Now, sometimes if you put herbs in too early, you can lose them a little bit. I like them to be like nice, fresh zinger. Now, as you can see, it's starting to dry out a little bit. Not dry out's the wrong word. It's not dry now. The water that I splashed in to create the steam is now going and just leaving all the flavour behind. There we go, vinegar. I'll give it a decent squirt. Now, I'd say about, right, for every one person you're cooking for, a tablespoon of vinegar, right? So 2 people, 2 tablespoons. If you're doing this for 4 tablespoons. And, oh, the vinegar's hitting me now. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. But apple cider vinegar is a really, really good. Again, it's more or less a superfood. It's good for your stomach. Really, really good. All the old time bodybuilders, which I know quite a few of them, you know what I mean, they all have cider vinegar. Some of them was having like, before every meal, a good friend of mine, Barry Vormer, one of my best friends in the world, he used to have a shot of it, sorry about that, he used to have a shot of cider vinegar before every meal. Can you imagine a shot of cider vinegar behind it before every, I'm like, Barry, why didn't you just put it in a vinaigrette? Oh, I didn't think of that. Right, anyway. So cabbage is done. Now, don't worry about the chicken, and I'll tell you why. Because if the chicken, if you think it's cooled down, here we go, place it on top, right? Place it on top. And all this lovely stuff that's come off the chicken, get that on it. There we go. Lid it. And we are 1 minute away from serving. Literally 1 minute away from serving. It's that easy. It's that easy. You know, so, oh, can't do cooking, the cooking's hard. It's 1 pot cabbage and onion and chicken, mate. You know what I mean? Get in the kitchen, start cooking, you know what I mean? But again, if you're on a diet, if you're on, I'm not going to mention any of the fad diets because I don't like them. A lot of these diets are all yo-yos, like all yo-yo diets, and it's like, no matter which one you mention, right, it's a yo-yo diet. And the reason why it's a yo-yo diet is because it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Yeah, you might lose a bit of weight, but then what? You start going back to your own habits and you start putting weight back on. That's what a yo-yo is. Because you're going backwards and forwards, you know what I mean? Get on a good diet, eat healthily, not about losing weight, about feeling better. When you feel better, you go to the gym. You'll lose the right kind of weight. It might take longer, but it's more sustainable. You'll stay on it longer. Which means you're not going to be yo-yoing. All right. Now, time to serve. So, let's turn it off. So as you can see, you've got the chicken, you've got the cabbage. Place it in the dish. Now again, this is for 2 people, right? Now, I'm not going to make it all fancy with like throwing herbs on it and, you know, things like that. But what I am going to do is, excuse me 1 second, let me just grab a spoon. What I am going to do is, what I think is the important stuff, is this bit of sauce here. Just drizzle it over the top. Just drizzle it over the top. And there we are. It's that simple. Chicken, cabbage, onion, but done like that. Simple. So get yourselves healthy, get in the kitchen, get cooking. It's easy. Stay with me. I'm going to be releasing at least one video a week, right? At least one video a week, whether it be Facebook, YouTube or whatever. I don't even know what I'm doing with it all just yet, but I'm going to be cooking because the recovery that I did with the food that I did, I'm telling you, if it helps one person that's recovering from cancer, just one, my work's done. I'm happy. All right, so like, share, do whatever you do. Technology, I'm terrible, but I'm all right in the kitchen. So I've got people around that's going to do the technology side. Like and share it. Be good to everyone. Love yous. Bye-bye.